Welcome to Grimoire for Gamers. First up, we have the Mechanical Musketeer. He's our first mini-boss. He wields a spear and a hand cannon. So what that means is you've got to be up close and personal, whether you like it or not, because he has a lot of range, believe me. So when you're fighting this boss, what you need to be careful with firstly is his spear. So you can either do a poke attack, or you can do what I like to call a sweep and slash, which is basically a horizontal attack, which has a much larger hitbox, so you need to be really careful with that one. If he is feeling a lot more tricky, he can actually combo these moves together, so you can do a poke followed up by a sweep and slash, and that can catch you off guard, so you need to be careful. So the next thing you've got to be aware of is his hand cannon. So if you stray too far away from him in the fight, he will begin to shoot you. What I've noticed is there's an animation cue and also a sound cue when this is going to happen. So basically what he'll do is he'll hold his arm in the air and kind of prepare it, and you'll hear like a click. Then he is going to shoot you. What's interesting is if he doesn't do that and he's just kind of looking / playing with his weapon, he's not going to shoot you. Instead he's going to do a different attack. He's trying to trick you. I thought that was a neat mechanic to this boss fight. Another little thing he can do is he can kick you, but I've noticed throughout fighting him, like, he'll only do this once or twice a fight. Maybe sometimes he just doesn't kick you as well. It's quite rare it happens. It's just another thing he does to try and catch you off guard. So in order to double check whether, I got all of this boss's moves, I actually started running around the boss arena just seeing if he did anything differently, and he actually did. So basically he has a double poke spear attack. It gets a lot extra range and the second attack's kind of a bit faster. And then the other really interesting thing is he basically gets like a speed boost when you get too far away, and he charges at you kind of like a dolphin dive where he jumps up in the air, does kind of a somersault and like headbutts you. I thought that was really weird but also really cool. So yeah, that is the Mechanical Musketeer. Next, we have the Lightning Ram. So compared to the last boss we've just done, this guy doesn't have an advanced moveset. It is more basic, unfortunately. Despite him being my favourite in terms of looks and the effects he does, like his electric charge move, he is essentially just an electrically charged battering ram. So there's only a couple of moves you actually have to watch out for with this guy. The first of which is he does a 2-hit combo with his metal pull. To look for it, what you have to do is he changes stance and then kind of dances into it and spins it around, and you can just simply dodge it. Next up, we actually have his battering ram move. So basically what he does is he uses his metal pull, pushes it all the way back and then thrusts it forwards, kind of like you'd see in like a Lord of the Rings siege tower type deal. Finally, we have the power bomb move. He basically jumps up in the air, slams his metal pole into the floor, and then puts lightning everywhere in an AoE effect. I figured out if you stay in this for too long, you get actually a electricity debuff. Upon testing, I think what it does is you take additional damage. For a bonus tip, as this guy's lightning, obviously ice, he's very susceptible to being frozen. So if you've got the ice pistol or the ice batons, you can really make quick work of them. But yeah, that's the Lightning Ram. Overall, really cool fight, but I do wish he was, a bit more complex. Last but not least, we have the Flame Menace. So his next boss is actually quite interesting. He's got a hammer for his head, but you have to really pay close attention to realise that. He's got a spear that's got fire around it, and basically what he can do is hit the spear with his hammer, and then that makes it AoE fire attack, which is pretty interesting. In terms of his hammer attacks, you got to really look out for his head. Like, he'll charge his head up and then basically do this crazy spin hammer attack that can catch you off guard so easily. He's also got kind of a dash type hammer move where basically like he'll lunge into you with his feet and then try to headbutt you with his hammer. It's quite an interesting moveset. Reminds me a bit of Rhino from Spider-Man. For his spear, you have to really stay close to him because he's got a huge range. He's got a variety of attacks he can do. He can do a wide sweeping area attack. He can do a poke, and he mixes them up sometimes as well. And even when you knock him down as well, he can like kind of do a get up attack like you'd have in a fighting game. Now one of the coolest attacks I've seen in Steelrising is this move right here. So basically what he does, I don't know what triggers it, but he puts his spear horizontally and then with his hammer whacks it, and basically that makes an AoE fire effect. I think that's such a cool concept. It's kind of like he's smithing as like an ancient blacksmith but uses it as an attack. I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, that concludes our beta footage. I hope you all enjoyed the content, and stay tuned for more, because the full game is out by the time this video is out. I will be playing it, I will be making guides and loads more videos. So please like and subscribe if you want more Steelrising content. I will see you all very soon.